Hi, Helen.
Hello, Jane. Just finishing dinner, as usual.
But
listen, I've been playing with my new toy today.
Have you? What have you got?
The processor.
Oh, has it come?
Yeah, I'm a bit confused with what's for what, but I've used it for a few things. I did my alkagizer in the blender bit, but I can probably do double the amount in it. I just wasn't sure how much it would hold, which would be good because I can do a couple of days worth then.
Nice.
I've chopped some vegetables in it, and then I made pecan nut balls.
Did you?
Oh my god!
Get you!
Absolutely bloody delicious. I said to Rob, better than chocolate.
Yeah, there you go. You see.
I wonder what we're talking about. Better than chocolate.
So Rachel and Roger are just coming on, and you're talking about pecan balls.
Oh, it's so lovely. It took a bit of a while in the processor for them to be, sort of for them to be oily enough, I suppose, to be able to make them into balls. But got there in the end. And then I made some chicken liver pate.
Nice. Rachel's face.
I don't like liver at all.
No, nor do I, but I like chicken liver pate.
The funny thing is, when I was little, I used to eat, what do you call it? I used to spread it on toast. Pate, yeah. I used to eat pate on toast, and it wasn't until I was older, I was like, oh, was that liver? But I don't know if I could eat it now. It's weird, isn't it?
I mean, I could definitely not eat liver. But liver pate is absolutely fine. I suppose I don't like the lumpy feel of it, I suppose.
Texture, yeah.
Yeah, texture, yeah.
The problem,
I made it. Sorry, yeah. So I made a few things. So I've made use of it.
Very
not washing up though.
Is it dishwasher proof?
It is, but my dishwasher's full.
Been cooking so much.
Yeah.
Oh, you carry on with your tea, Helen.
No worries.
Hi, Marsha. Lovely to see you. You're looking very fresh. Unmute yourself. Come and say hello. We haven't heard from you for a while. Hi.
Glad to be back.
Was it a good trip?
It was great. Yeah.
You look so fresh and sparkly.
The wrinkles all went away. No worry lines anymore.
Yes.
It was exactly what I needed to just like completely de-stress. Yoga every day and watching whales and snorkeling and taking all kinds of therapy. They shrunk my head really good. And I came back. I had released like 5 pounds over the week. And then in 2 days this week, I released another 4 pounds.
Wow.
So it's a total of 20 solid gone, maybe 21 at this point. And we still have 3 weeks to go. So it will be about where it was a year ago when I did Wildfit. But this time I've actually gone into ketosis, I think a couple times. I've been kind of on the edge, in and out, and I can kind of tell. So that feels pretty good. And this week we'll tell, if I go back into it next week. I'm assuming he's going to have us try to flip the switch again. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
So how many of you were going, Summer? Yes.
Yeah, I want blueberries.
Isn't it? No, how long ago is it that you were going, yes, chocolate, yes, wine, yeah, and now you're going, yes, an apple or some berries. Oh, how far we've come in such a short space of time. So, okay, so I take it you've all listened to Eric's video this morning. So you're all aware that we are gently coming out of spring at last. And we're going to move into mild spring. And yeah, Helen's going, yes. I can feel the emotion coming from behind your avatar, Helen. Oh, there we go. So yes, so we're finally going to reintroduce some of those sweeter vegetables and a little bit of fruit. So hi, Jackie. Hi, Susan. Everybody okay? So Jackie, I saw your posting going, summer. I was just saying, how far have we come that we're celebrating having a carrot or some berries? Yes. Woo! Having a party. Having a party. Okay, so before we kind of move into next week though, I just want to review. Hi, Caroline. I just want to review where we've come from, because we're now at the end of week, I forgot what week, 10. No, going, yeah, at week 10. End of week 10. So 10 weeks past, you've been through an awful, awful lot of changes, of different experiences. And what I'd like for you in the chat is I want you to give me what have you learned? What's the biggest thing that you think you've learned over the last 10 weeks? What's kind of the 1 or 2 things that have stuck in your mind that's kind of gone, that was an aha moment? You'll have to type for Roger, Rachel, as well. Oh, who's the quickest typer? Hey.
My C and my E aren't working, so I was trying to write coffee, but the button's not working on my laptop.
Okay, well, okay, then come while the others are typing in, because I'm going to come back to them in a second anyway. But so tell us what about your coffee? What is it about?
Or my off, because I can't spell coffee. My coffee. Just have no desire to even try and drink it. I can happily walk past it now, even smell it, and just be there thinking, that's just poison. Why do you want that in your body? And I wasn't a massive coffee drinker, but it was more the feeling associated with having that relaxing me time, just 5 minutes to myself, rather than the coffee drink itself. That was mine.
Fine. And are you finding that relaxing some other way? Is there something else that you're now doing that's still giving you that relaxation?
It's sadly, it's an alcoholizer.
Sadly, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I make more in the morning so that I've got one to save to have in my evening drink on the sofa.
Oh, what a great idea. That's brilliant. And but the thing is, it wasn't the coffee, it was the ritual.
Mm.
So fabulous replacement, and now you no longer need the other rubbish. So awesome. It's fabulous. Is anything else that's kind of popped for you, or is that the biggest one? That's obviously the biggest one.
That's the biggest one. Not needing chocolate to get through my period. I think that was another one.
Hey.
The week leading up to it would be trying to find as much chocolate as I possibly could, and then just powering through and using it as an excuse of, well, I need it now. That's why I need it, because I'm on my period, and I have to make myself feel better because it's such a rubbish time, and pity me, oh poor me. Being the only girl in the house as well, it's it's easy to be like, you don't understand. My hormones need their chocolate. So now I don't. It's weird.
Ah, that's awesome. It doesn't mean you never have chocolate again. It just means you don't have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fabulous. Absolutely brilliant. Yay! Everyone give her a clap. That's fab. Okay, or a wave if you eat it. Okay, so we've got, who am I going to put here? So Carol Ann, sugar, sugar everywhere. So come on, share this on with us.
Well, before I started this challenge, I would have said that I didn't think I ate much sugar because I don't add sugar to things. I don't, I don't eat that many. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have had an odd cake or an odd biscuit, but I don't have them in the house. So I was totally amazed when that week at the very beginning, when we had to start looking at sugar, and and it's in so many things. And I'm finding it, I think I said to you when I met you, I find it quite difficult now watching my grandson, which I apologise, I was late tonight because I actually took with my grandson and I took him out for tea. And I am sitting there watching him eating pasta and all the rest of it, and then tucking into some ice cream and sticky toffee pudding. And it's really hard for me to sit there and go, don't eat it. But, from my own point of view, I really now I'm much more aware. Like today I was doing my food shopping and I was really conscious of all the stuff that I used to buy, thinking it was healthy, and it's not. So I think for me that's been a really big eye-opener. I mean, I'm pleased that I'm having said on Monday I wasn't craving anything. This week I have craved nearly everything. I've wanted chocolate, I've wanted coffee, I've wanted crisps, I've wanted all sorts. And I don't know why, but I've not. They kept asking me in the restaurant tonight, would you like a spoon to share it with your grandson? And I'm going, no, I'm not eating it. It's fine. But it's that I think I'll take away is the sugar, and to read labels more carefully, because that's the key for me, I think, in the hidden sugars. So that's one good thing that I think there's lots of good things, but I think that was the first thing that really hit me that first few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is fascinating and so sad as well.
Very sad, because it's in so much stuff and you just think, why is there sugar in that? You just can't understand it. That's the thing. And I hadn't realized. I've been blissfully buying stuff thinking I was eating well, and I've been shoving a load of sugar in my mouth and without realizing it. So,
and now hopefully you've got an appreciation of why so many people have health issues and so many people have weight issues, because they think they're eating healthily.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I agree with Susan's comment about, what food, fast food and everything. It's just a nightmare, isn't it? When you're traveling or just even when you're out and about generally for a day, how little there is to be able to eat that's healthy. I mean, particularly for us at the moment, because we couldn't have fruit.
Yeah.
But you just look around and think, God, you can't eat anything, can you, these days? It's all just stodge and sugar. So that's the biggest thing that I've sort of hit. But yeah.
And to be perfectly honest with you, Caroline, if that's the only thing you take away from here, that will significantly change your health in the future. If you did nothing else.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's other things I'll take away as well, but I suppose that was the first sort of major, oh my God, I didn't realize there was so much sugar, so that was the one that hit me the most, because it was the first of all the stuff that we were doing. That was the first thing we took away. So that's what I noticed the most. So
fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. So on behalf of Roger, Rachel Tite, Roger has learned to walk past all the crap. Way to go, Rog. Come on then. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, it was that habit thing.
Tell about your bank statement. Tell about your bank statement. Added up what you.
No, I just had a look at my bank statement the other day, and I sort of totaled up in January what I'd spent, stopping at the shop for a coffee and a flapjack and things like that, and I can't remember how much it was at the end of the month. Something like 35, nearly £40 in 1 month just on
flapjack and coffee
junk. And so then I looked at February's and it was completely nothing, no pit stops whatsoever. So So that was a big win. And I think that, as I said before, a lot of my eating and food was to fuel my exercise and my running. So I was basically running on sugar for energy, and also for reward afterwards, thinking, well, I've done all that, now I can eat what I like. But since my training's kicked into gear this week, I've completed 50 miles tonight from Sunday to Friday, 5 days, 6 days, 6 days. And, you know, apart from a bit of sweet potato, that's fueled me all the way through. And
Yes.
and you know, it's brilliant. And going forward, I shall use that as part of training leading up to events.
And the thing for me, I think, for his running is because he relied so much on gels, energy gels, especially in his marathons. And you know, I've always known that is just pure sugar and it's no good for him. So I'm intrigued to find out how he's going to get. Well, he will get through his marathon, but it'll be the first ever marathon he's done without having a gel.
Well,
so that'd be really interesting.
Usually have 2 or 3, but
That's
that's the marketing as well of all the you know, all the stalls. When you go to, say, London Marathon, any big marathon, there's stalls and stalls of gels and energy drinks.
Glucose tablets.
It's all stacked full of sugar, but of course it's all marketed that you need this gel at a certain amount of miles to get you through the next. Then you have another one and another one. And then of course you have the almighty crash afterwards. You completely wiped out. So, and I mean, as I said to you, I did that training run at the weekend and I could have carried on, and my recovery the next morning was fine.
And he didn't have jumpy legs at night.
Hey, fantastic. Awesome. That's a brilliant NSV for Rachel.
Yeah, because we got 2 separate mattresses because of his jumpy bloody legs and a massive bed to fit the 2 single mattresses in.
Oh, that's fabulous. That is fabulous.
And on top of that, my knee's repaired, which is unbelievable, because I thought it was knackered, to be honest. But I think if I can manage it now and keep taking all the turmeric and ginger and keep it going, it's going to be fine.
Fabulous. That's awesome. That is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Roger. Superb. When you come, so you did 20 on the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you reckon you could have gone through to the full 26 without any problems?
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so I've just got 3 weeks now. It's 3 weeks this weekend. So we've got the half marathon next Sunday.
My first half marathon in 7 years.
Wow. Are you excited?
You'll be all right.
Sort of. Are you a little bit nervous?
A little bit.
Oh, you're going to be awesome. You're going to be awesome.
Thanks.
Well, you're in fact, it's perfect timing because you've been in spring up to now. So now with the introduction of sweet potatoes and butternut squashes and the sweeter root vegetables and everything for the next couple of days, have a little bit to give you that little bit of starter, and then you should be absolutely flying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be good.
Really looking forward to it now. So, well, the half marathon and the marathon. So.
And how is your hydration levels, both of you? Because you need to be hydrating 2-3 days in advance.
Yeah, I need to up mine because I think because I've been doing so many long distances with my patients between, I haven't drunk enough water this past couple of weeks, so I definitely need to up it this week, definitely.
Yeah, and put your pinch of Himalayan salt in, so you've got plenty of electrolytes. You'll need those on the run in particular.
Yeah.
Okay. And then afterwards, if you start to struggle with cramps or anything, the Himalayan salt should really help, but magnesium bath.
Yeah. I've just brought some magnesium lotion as well.
Oh, fab.
I smothered Roger's legs with it the other day.
Fab.
Didn't have
Yeah, fab.
Yeah, I've got
couldn't sleep.
So
The only
that
thing
was, go on.
the only thing I'm going to have on the day is obviously I'll be running without any gels because I know I won't need them, but it'll only be bottled water on the route, so I'll only be able to grab water. So do you think I should carry like a bit of salt with me, or
no, just have some before.
just before?
I would say.
Yeah, you won't need it. By the time if you've hydrated well before the run, so from now up to the run, you've hydrated well and you've had salt in your water and you've had your alkalizers and that kind of stuff with a little bit of salt in, your electrolyte levels should be absolutely fine. So drinking water, and bottled water is normally mineral water anyway. So then if it's mineral water, even better, because there'll be an element of salts in there. So you don't need to add, you don't need to take it with you.
No.
It might be worth, you're driving because it's Manchester, no, it's not Manchester this weekend, is it?
Weymouth next weekend, and then Manchester 3 weeks.
3 weeks from Manchester.
Right. So you're driving to Weymouth.
Yeah.
So I would have a bottle of water in your car with a little pinch of Himalayan salt in for when you finish your run, just to top your electrolytes up after your run. But you should be absolutely fine during the run.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I look forward to Monday and letting us know how you get on. Fabulous.
Week Monday.
No,
Not this weekend, is it?
no, yeah, it's not this weekend, next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. So Rachel, while you're on then, what's your biggest learning? Your biggest
My
aha
biggest
moment?
learning is obviously with the sugar thing. It's always the sugar thing with me. By cutting it out again, and then I have introduced a little bit of the crappy sugar this week for certain reasons, but it just makes me feel like rubbish. I get really moody. I get really bad acid. It makes me bloated. So I know sugar definitely does not, processed sugar does not suit me, or it does not, like my body doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of like a thing that I did it again, obviously for emotional reasons, but then it was like another smack in the face to say, Rachel, you can't have this processed sugar because it's just not good for you, full stop. So in a way, it's like I had to do it to make me realize again.
Yeah. But the beauty is that your body's telling you, and its signals are quite high, quite strong now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slap in the face. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
No. And the acid is just awful, just really bad. And because I used to take tablets for my acid reflux years ago, and it was like a magic tablet. And I see some of the patients that I look after take them now, and I think, oh God, don't take them. But it's just literally the food that you're eating. But obviously you can't really say too much. But yeah. So it's definitely sugar that makes me feel terrible.
Yeah. So are you looking forward to introducing a little bit of fruit over the course of the next week?
Yeah, but I'd like to have some grapes because I do love grapes, but that's not like a summer thing, is it? It's more the berries and stuff. More of the tasteless fruit.
Yeah, it's less sugary fruits, but I mean, what we're talking about is moving you from fat burning into sugar burning. So hopefully you will see and you will experience how that movement feels. So how the energy level is different, how the energy supply is different, how it affects your mood, how it affects your brain function and things like that. And then we'll move you back. So to be perfectly honest, if you want a couple of grapes, run the experiment.
Yeah.
See what your sugar monster says.
Will do.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Good check-in. Great checking. Okay. So Helen has said she doesn't need sugar. Come on. Tell me all about it.
And I agree with Carol-Ann. I'm literally gobsmacked at how much sugar, how many foods sugar is in. You know, and down to tomato passata, which I use all the time. It's full of sugar.
And why do they do it? You know, tomatoes are sweet.
But I must admit, I've been buying the bio one from the health shop, and it is, if you actually taste it, it is actually quite bitter. But once it's in food, it's fine.
Okay. Have you?
But you pay a premium for it because it hasn't got sugar in it, which is really bad, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you because you grow quite a few of your own vegetables, don't you?
Yeah.
You grow your own tomatoes?
Yes.
Okay. So have you thought about making your own passata?
Yeah, but I like eating them. They're a bit wasted going in a passata or passata, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I have done when I've had loads and loads left at the end of the season. But you don't really get, you know, much out of it doesn't go a long way when you make it yourself.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just carry on buying it from the health shop. I mean, one jar lasts 2 meals, so that's fine.
Or put tomatoes in.
Yeah, that's true. Just some chopped tomatoes. Yeah, I have done that as well.
Yeah, because if it's the tomato flavour that you're looking for, it's the rich tomato flavour. Then I mean, the tomatoes over here in Portugal in particular. Oh,
I love tomatoes. I really do.
So
yeah, I think they just seem to go with everything. But yeah, I put on that signal earlier. It seems it's a bit scary. I find it a bit scary going from the spring to the summer because obviously we are going to be introducing some natural sugars again. So does that mean we're going to go out of fat burning and we won't release any more weight, or is that not the?
Okay, it's a great question, and it's a fear that a lot of people struggle with once they've got comfortable in spring. When you first came into spring, you were like, then you got halfway through spring and you're going, I'm bored. Then you get to the end of spring and you go, actually, I quite like spring. I'm kind of comfortable here. I kind of know where I am. I kind of know what I'm doing. And you see all the changes. Coming out of spring, each of the seasons has a benefit. Each of the seasons is just as important and just as useful for your body as the other. The reason that we do spring for so long is because a lot of us have never gone into fat burning. So our bodies have always been sugar burning engines. We've never given this other energy source a go. So for some people, it takes quite a long time to get that switch flipped and to get into fat burning. So that's why we leave it for a good 5 weeks, so that we get all of us get the opportunity of going into fat burning. What we want to do is we want to take your body out of fat burning and go back into sugar burning for a week, and then flip it back. Because the more often you flip it from one system to another, the easier that switch is. It's like you're oiling it. And once you get what's called fat adapted, it means you can switch from sugar burning to fat burning like that. Literally. In the space of 24 hours, you can change what you eat and you can go from one thing to another, because the signals you're sending your body are really clear. So don't be afraid of coming out of spring and going into summer and then going back again. You'll be doing that when you're living Wildfit. You will be choosing which season you're going to be in at any one time. And the more often you flip that switch, the easier it is, the more effective it is, and the easier your body will release that. Because the signals will be just bang, get rid. Okay, we've got rid. Bang, get rid. So don't be afraid of it. This is the reason that we put this in, the reason that Eric has added extra weeks to the challenge is because historically you only did spring, and then we did the living Wildfit. This is how you now use your different tools, and people went off. And they stayed in spring. They never came out of it, and they were like you. They were worried about it. So what we wanted to do was to bring the opportunity of going out of spring into summer and then coming back into spring with help, with support. Because when you come out of spring, you will get a change in your body. You're bound to, because you're now having a few more sugars. So your sugar monster is going to start rearing its head a little bit and start making a little bit of noise. Who is it who's saying that they were? It was Carol. It was Caroline. Was it you that was saying this week suddenly you started craving everything? Yeah. So it was Caroline was saying that, and that's because mentally she goes, I know there's a change coming on Friday. I know I can have sugar on Friday. I can have some fruit on Friday. And your devil's gone, you got some fruit coming on Friday. It won't matter if you have it a day early. You'll be fine. No one will know. You've been so good. 10 weeks you've been at this. Oh my God, tell me you've never done 10 weeks in your life. Go on, you know you can have sugar on the weekend. So just have a little bit. Just have a little bit beforehand. It won't matter. Because he knows it's coming. So this experiment over next week is all about how that rears its head, the arguments that it uses to try and get you to have crappy sugars. Good sugars are absolutely fine. Our bodies really need them. But your sugar monster is going to be wanting a little bit more because it's not used to just having the fruit.
So at the end of this week, are we going back to spring then?
For a week. Yeah.
Could have done with it being next week, being in summer, because I'm going back to the UK. It'd be easier.
But this is now the focus on getting that energy to move, that energy supply to change. So don't be afraid of it. Enjoy it. Enjoy. I tell you now, the flavors you are going to experience will blow your mind. They will absolutely blow your mind. The first time you have a few berries, the first time you have a strawberry, they will taste like you've never tasted them before. They really will. So sit down and don't, if you have a small bowl, don't have a big one, you won't need a big one. Small bowl and just savor them. Oh my God, smell them. Look at them. See the juice in them. And then try them and really taste them. I tell you, they're going to blow your mind.
And do we have to eat the fruit first thing in the morning again?
Yes, for next week. We're going to ask you to do that for next week because we're still going through the process of keeping things as smooth as possible, as even as possible. When you're living Wildfit, having fruit during the course of the day, you'll understand, or you now understand that they digest differently to other foods. But if you choose to combine them, that's fine. You just need to see how your body reacts to having them together. Yeah. But for next week, just for next week, have them for first thing in the morning, or on an empty stomach. Okay. But you've also got your sweeter root veg and things as well. Are you looking forward to anything in particular?
Probably maybe sweet potato. Yeah. And I like butternut squash as well. So yeah.
Nice.
But no, I mean tonight I had like a stir fry, and so everything does taste different. Everything just does seem to taste nicer.
Because you can actually taste it.
Yeah, it definitely is a difference. I mean, because we're going back to the UK next week, my daughter's getting all panicky. Oh, I won't be able to afford all your stuff you've got to buy, so I'll just do an online shop. So don't worry, I'll do an online shop and I can just pick it up myself. So I don't need to put any fruit in for next weekend, really, then, do I, if we're coming back out of it? Right, okay. Just so I know, because I'll do it this week.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Brilliant. Great check-in. So well done. Keep going. Enjoy. Are you bringing the sweeter stuff in like now, or are you waiting till Monday?
I'll do it this weekend, I think. Carrots maybe, and a bit courgette perhaps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Wow. Okay, good checking. Okay. So Marsha, no more cheese. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in all this time, even when my brother came and we had more of the special cheese from Chicago delivered to the house, I took one bite because it was gonna go in the trash. It should have gone in the trash, but I enjoyed the bite. But the whole time, for a whole week, there was cheese every night with crackers and stuff. And I did not get into it at all. And I wasn't even thinking about it. And I think if that one little, it was a tiny morsel, wasn't there, I would not have eaten it. But I did enjoy it. But I thought it was a really big victory that I wasn't tempted. And I could have taken it or left it. In the end, it didn't light me up like, oh my gosh, I really missed this. And it was terrible that I didn't have it all week. And I'm so sorry I let them eat all of it, whatever. It wasn't like that, which is very different for me because I could sit and eat an entire wheel of brie or camembert. It's the creamy texture, but I finally identified what it is about cheese and peanut butter and marshmallows and all that. It's the creaminess that I crave. So if I make a really nice baba ganoush or a really nice hummus or, something that's creamy texture, I'm okay.
Fab.
So that is huge. Because now I realize I just need to have some of that stuff around.
Fab. That's brilliant.
And I made some amazing seed crackers. They had crushed flaxseed instead of, it wasn't a flax flour, you just crush them a lot, with pecan and a couple of other nuts. They were way better than the 5 seed crackers. Their texture was a little bit more cracker-like than just a bunch of seeds mushed together.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. I will post the recipe because
Please.
and I used a Mediterranean spice mix. Forget what they call it, but it's a special name. And it gave them the most aromatic smell, and the taste was just really, really good. Excuse me.
Continuous.
Oh, yeah. So that was a big victory for me because, along with Barry, I was just really struggling with the cheese. I want to eat it every day. And
yeah,
ugh.
That's huge.
Yeah, because I could sit down and eat a whole slab of it just with a bunch of, good crackers, but, it's dairy and I'm just not craving that. And, going to the supermarket anymore is just not a challenge. It's like I go to the produce section, I go to the meat section, and I'm out of there because I know there's nothing else in the store that I can buy.
It's easy, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's really easy. And the last shop, because I'm only home here for like 4 days or something, I just got exactly what I knew I would eat, greens and, some veg and stuff. And I had, just maybe $35 worth of stuff. And that's all I needed to get through the rest of the week. I had frozen meat and different tin fish and stuff available. So I didn't have to buy that, but it just makes it really easy to shop now.
Yeah.
And I have some good recipes for virtually any vegetable that I can find. So, and I had fabulous bok choy with snow peas and, coconut aminos and a little vegan oyster sauce that I found, and, just had fabulous flavors, and piled that up with just a little piece of salmon, and it was great. So, and last week really helped me a lot, just eating a program that I used to be on. It was called Bright Line Eating. And it was pretty much all vegetables, although they do grains. I chose not to have any. And the root vegetables that they served, I just skipped. So I ate a lot of Swiss chard and collard greens, fennel, and huge amounts of salad with the meats. And I had a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's what I ate. So no wonder I lost weight. I was really eating a lot of greens.
Very good.
I didn't have access to alkalizers though. So, I just ate all the greens I could.
Very good. Well, you look fabulous, I have to say.
I
You look
feel
really well.
Transformed, really. Good energy. Although at the moment I'm just starting to be tired because I've been running. But yeah, it was very productive week, and I felt like I just unburdened a lot of stuff physically, mentally, and met some fabulous people. It'd be like if I came over to see all of you and we hung out for a week, it would just be amazing. I would love to do that, right? But yeah, it was very positive, because you're all eating right and everybody has a healthy mindset and you're just with your peeps,
Fabulous.
It's good.
Fabulous. Great check-in and a great victory over teeth. That's fabulous.
Yeah, thank you. I feel on track and I'm ready for this week. I'm probably not going to start till Monday, and I'm gone next week. So I won't see you Monday or Friday, but I will, in moderation, have some root vegetable or whatever, a little bit sweeter vegetable, but I'm just going to continue what I'm doing and add, half a cup of this or that in a meal or two each day. And that'll be more than enough and I'll be satisfied. So it's good. Yeah. Feels
Awesome.
good.
Awesome. Well done, Marsha. You look amazing. Fabulous.
Thanks.
So, Catherine, how are you doing, my sweet? What's your... So I don't know whether did you hear the original question or not?
No, sorry.
No, that's fine. So the original question was, we're at week 10. So what's the biggest thing you've learned? What's kind of just one thing that kind of pops in your head that you've learned from the last 10 weeks?
Oh, what have I learned? You don't have to eat at set times of the day. And you don't have to eat just in case you're going to be hungry. You might be hungry later, which I think I used to do that a lot. So I would have to have breakfast before I left the house. And then a couple of hours later, I might be thinking, oh, I've got a visit that's going to last 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I better eat something again now. But I'm just not even thinking about food, really. So I guess that's come from the program for me.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer, food's no longer driving your day.
No, and I'm not, when I stop for petrol, I don't have to buy a meal deal while I'm there. Because that's what I used to do, and I don't need to do that anymore.
That's fabulous.
It's not a thing. Yeah. And this week, for the first week, I haven't been craving the bread, the crusty bread. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that's just gone this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's taken a long time, but don't feel like I need that in my life. This week.
Yeah.
That might be different next week.
But that's great because it's calmed down. Everything's kind of quiet and with you now. So
yeah.
Brilliant. That's fab. Yeah, that's a great observation and a great win.
It's my daughter's birthday today, so I had to make a cake this afternoon. Under duress, I hate baking, but I made
Jackie feels your pain.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a thing I enjoy at all, and I think because I don't enjoy it, the cakes always turn out rubbish anyway. But there's this one cake recipe that usually works for me. It was a lemon and blueberry cake, and it did work, and her and her friends all loved it. and there was blueberries left over, and I was like, oh, I can have some of these. And I had about 5, and oh my god, they were too sweet. Yeah, I didn't have just a few, and they were too sweet for me.
Wow.
Yeah, and blueberries are probably not the sweetest fruit, really, are they generally? But
how about that then?
Oh, that's enough of that. Thank you very much.
Could you really taste the blueberry bit though? The actual flavour.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
This is going to be great. This is going to be such a fun week for you. Honestly, this is going to be such a fun week. Trying your different things and your different flavours.
Yeah, I can't wait to get it to carrots.
We're having a carrot party. Can you believe it? We're having a carrot party.
Oh, funny. So I'm supposed to post our pictures with our carrots.
Oh, awesome. Great checking, Catherine. Fabulous. Fabulous. Susan, so I think you mentioned sugar again, didn't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's been a huge learning curve. But I mean, if any of you could have witnessed my sister now after her stroke, so because then she's not capable of clearing her little flat, and it's the happiest place she's ever lived in her entire life. She's only had 1 year there, 1 year. It was all new furniture, new carpets, new washing machine, everything for 1 year. So I had to clear the flat this week, and I found tons of sweet wrappers, like celebration things, bags of marshmallows, bags of the worst kind of candy. Can you remember those little round lollipops on sticks, and sugar jellies and that? I threw them all in the bin. I mean, how in all conscience you can even have them. And then to say thank you to the nurses on the stroke unit, because they're changing nappies, they're doing rubbish all day long. I explained to them that not a way in the world I could buy them a box of chocolates. So I bought the biggest basket and filled it with melon and persimmon and grapes and bananas and apples and pears. And then I put some packets of strawberries. And the nurses actually came out and said, oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. And then the other thing that happened was I did exactly the same for the assisted living home where my sister's been so happy, and the staff, you know, and Natalie, who's the manager of this place, you know, I just had to say, I have to thank you for basically the happiest year of my sister's life. And I said, I couldn't buy you. I have to give you fruit because I can't buy chocolate now, not after what's happened. And she, when we finally left this morning, she said, oh, you have made me think. You've made me think. Because they do all sorts of things to get everybody together, like raffles. So the raffle prizes were chocolates and great big bottles of bubbly. And I'm telling you now, I will love a chocolate someday. But if you saw somebody reduced to not being able to speak, to having her food in a peg through her stomach, okay, she's got a little bit of movement, and I know it's a mixture of things and it's not just the sugar, but the sugar abuse was just so absolutely evident in the flat, let alone, and those are direct sugars. And when, you know, I know that Eric is a big fan of the Sugar Monster and so on, but what I feel, having seen such horrendous suffering, the worst that you could even imagine, okay, is that it's not actually my sister's fault. Sugar is absolutely addictive. But this, you know, I mean, the reason I understand it from a medical point of view, rather than the Sugar Monster, is that the sugar is coming into your bloodstream. The insulin is required to come in to unlock it and release the contents into a cell for fuel. Okay, but if it's an overload, then you'll get a crash, because then there's been too much insulin, and so then you crave another piece of sugar, and that's a constant cycle. Eric's calling it waking the sugar monster. But really, if you've set that cycle up in your body, it's so difficult to overcome. You know, and my sister had all sorts of vulnerabilities, and you think to yourself, this flaming criminal. I mean, poor Chris, you know, he's listened to me go on about it this week because I've been so upset. So having said that, I'm still capable of craving, you know, like a pan of raisin. I can't say this, I can't say, you know, that it's awful. We had to eat out a lot because the room we had, and there was a microwave in my sister's flat, but no other cooking facility, because she had a hot meal provided for her every day in this complex, and we had a guest suite in the complex, and so we're forced to eat out. And that again, it makes you realize now how much sugar is about, and how cruel, really cruel it is. And then when you look around, you know, the part of Wales that I was visiting didn't seem very wealthy. There are some Waitroses, but, you know, there's lots of Morrisons and, you know, the cheaper kind of shops. And you think, all these people are so suffering. Even if you went to the most, an upper class, you know, like Marks and Spencer's, or, you know, a shopping Ocado, the M&S at London Bridge, middle of the most, you know, capital city of our country, did not have a cheese cracker without sugar, not one. So that's me. I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a ranter on it, but that's the biggest thing. And for me, whether you call it waking the sugar monster or allowing yourself an insulin low, that means you want another piece of sugar, then that's evil. That's totally evil, really. I can't describe it. I know I have a personal circumstances worse than anybody, I hope, has ever seen, right? Because I hope you never see a relative in the form of what I've seen this week. You know, I didn't take any photos. What we had was photo albums of all our happy times that we were looking at, you know. So, and my sister, if you'd seen her, she was such a gorgeous, young, slim. I was showing the nurses in the photo album of her, and then they actually could hardly believe it was because she is severely and morbidly obese, even though she's been 7 weeks, you know, on this kind of drip feed. Then also, you know, Eric's point about the NHS not understanding what damage sugar does. So I asked what was in the food that has to come into my sister through her stomach. It's a constant, it looks like a kind of protein whey mixture. And the nurse who showed me the system, because I'd just seen a diagram before, she said, it has got sugar in this mix. And then the next day, my sister had far too high a glucose level. So I said, I asked again, I said, well, do you know what, I really, you know, she's on medication for type 2 diabetes. So a lot of it is self-induced with the sweets and so on. But even so, why would you feed? And the poor nurse, I mean, it's not her fault. She's just said, there's a dietitian here and she makes up precisely what Janet needs. And Janet is my sister, makes up precisely what she needs. So then I arrived one tea time, and I, in my ignorance, thought that the PEG system was the only food that she was getting. But to my absolute delight, my sister was being fed a little bit of food, a pureed kind of savoury stuff, and then a chocolate custard. A chocolate custard. It's a tiny pot. First of all, I was very concerned, but she cannot manage more than 3 teaspoons of this. You know, it's just, she hasn't got the capacity for swallowing. And the nurse was, of course, trying to reassure me because the whole situation is so distressing. But you think, there it is. That's what Eric says. The NHS, how many medical people, you know, they're doing the absolute best for my sister. I can't say that, I can't praise the staff highly enough, but still, that's what happens. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm on a rant. I'm on a
No,
rant.
not at all. And all I can say, I'm sure I speak on behalf of everybody here, with how deeply sorry we are that your sister's in the situation that she is. But it is, I mean, that's a very stark, very stark example of how we need to change what's happening. And Eric's mission and mine now, because I've adopted it, is to get people to change the way that they think about food and the way that they buy food. Because we can't change things at the moment. You can't suddenly go and knock on the PM's door and say, ban sugar, because he'll look at you as if you're a mental case. But, if we don't buy it, if we stop buying foods that have got sugar in it, eventually they won't put sugar in it because they can't sell it.
I mean, just thinking about Helen's point, which is the passata that's got the sugar in, it's the temptation on an overall marketing program is the sugar is a preservative. So that passata is going to have a longer shelf life, sugar and salt, okay, longer shelf life. The other thing is your M&S or your Morrison's, right? And if you say, okay, M&S are putting the sugar in, and Morrison's, do all the tasting, because I work for M&S at head office, so I understand, the competition analysis and so on. Well, if the damn passata is selling so much better in M&S because it's got sugar in, because people are addicted to that, Morrison's are going to say, oh yeah, I got to do that too.
Exactly.
So, but there have been huge campaigns, that in the UK they tried to put the sugar tax in, and then they dropped it. And Jamie Oliver's done, masses of stuff, but but in my personal discipline, I still would struggle. I absolutely, I'm with Carol Ann here. I could just eat a pan of raisin, I think, with a coffee. I mean, that's one of the things I would think, oh, I would really like that. I have not done that. And I've sat opposite Chris eating all sorts of sweet stuff this week when I've been so stressed, but I've not eaten the sweet
well
stuff.
Done.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. Don't be sorry at all. It's incredibly powerful. And when the time comes for you to sit and try your pain au chocolat or your pain au raisin, think about eating it before. Try your first mouthful. See whether it has any kind of attraction for you in the way that you think, because you may find that with all this emotion and with what you know and everything else, that your pain au raisin actually is nothing like you remember it, and it won't have that hold over you anymore.
Oh, I do hope so. I do hope so, because I've seen the damage. I mean, with my sister, to give you some other perspectives, that she's had struggled with alcohol, so it's not sugar alone that's causing it, but of course there's sugar in alcohol, and the combination of things is just such a tragic example. So.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Susan. That must have been difficult, so thank you for that. Thank you very much. Mum, you came in right at the last minute. You managed to make it.
Yes, sorry, I was late. Yes.
No, that's all right. You seem gallivanting up.
Yeah, we've been decorating all day, so we went out for tea.
Okay. So
yeah.
The question we've been sharing today is, what's your biggest win from the 10 weeks that we've had so far? What's your one biggest moment? That's the thing that's stuck in your head, stuck in your mind?
My biggest
learning.
My biggest learning.
Yeah. What's the most useful thing you've learned?
That the majority of the things in the shops I don't need.
Nice.
I go, the supermarket shopping is so easy because I look down each aisle. I don't need to go down there. I don't need to go down there. I don't need to go down there. The fresh food, I need to go down there, and my toiletries, I need to go down there. But apart from that, it's dead simple. I go to the butcher's, I go to the fish shop, I get my veg. Yeah, shopping's easy.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. really, I think that's probably my biggest win.
Very good.
You know, it's yeah, and I walk past things and I don't fancy them. I walk past the cakes because in our Tesco, you walk down past the fruit and the veg, and to go down to the other aisle you need to pass the cakes and the bread, and the bread draws me sometimes, but the cakes, no, I walk past them and think synthetic rubbish, absolute rubbish, and I don't even want one. No, not at all. Doesn't do anything for me at all. No. So
Awesome.
so yeah, I think that's probably my biggest win, is that I walk down the shops and I know I don't need any of it.
Brilliant. Easy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's dead easy. Yeah, and I think the first time of doing Wildfit, you go through the process and you understand most of it, but I think when you are living Wildfit, it gets easier. It gets easier to it gets easier to know what you want to eat, and so you know you pick good quality fish or good quality meat, and if you're a vegetarian, then you know I do limit the amount of meat I eat. I probably only have it probably once a week, or not, sometimes none at all in a week, but I do eat a lot of fish. So for me, I don't quite know how vegetarians go on, but for me, I tend to have fish and probably make a vegetable curry now and again. So I do quite like a vegetable curry.
You make a great cauliflower curry.
Yeah, and I make a good cauliflower curry. Yeah. So yeah, I make good curry. But yeah, I think it makes life a lot easier.
Very good.
Yeah, you don't spend half your time shopping.
No. Fab.
No.
The great share. Thank you, Mum.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'll try and put my pictures on next week. I haven't had time today. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's all right. Been decorating.
Yeah.
Right. So we've come to the end of the call. Fabulous call. So enjoyed it tonight. I know it's gone quick. Really, really enjoyed it. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your buffer zone, because you're back in the buffer zone. So it's entirely down to you whether you have the enhancements over the weekend or whether you wait until Monday. So
I doubt they'll wait on this one, Jay. They're going into summer.
So have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. Come back on Monday with, if you have tried the enhancements over the weekend, if you have had some berries and things like that over the weekend, come to the call with the description of how it was. Tell us how it was. How did it feel? What happened? How did it taste? Did your sugar monster come up a little bit? Did you have a little bit of a conversation going on, or was it absolutely fine? I'm so excited to find out what happens on Monday. So have a great, great weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. So say bye to everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye. See you in a week.
Bye. Bye.
Happy weekend.
Have a good weekend.